So today I'm going to be reviewing a budget tablet from Samsung. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Lite, and it is a very interesting budget tablet. So with all that being said, let's get right into it and let's check out this Samsung tablet. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. If you look at the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite, it's basically the same type of tablet as the S9 FE. The FE series is normally Samsung's mid-range series. It's normally around $400 to $500. Well, now they are bringing last year's components from the Tab S9 FE and bringing them in at a more affordable price point. So we have the same processor as the Tab S9 FE. It's the Exynos 1380. We get 6 gigabytes of RAM in the base model, 128 gigs of storage, a similar design as far as the speakers and the bezels. It's very clear Samsung is using a lot of components here that they've used in the past, and they are doing that to bring the price point here of this tablet with the S Pen to a more reasonable price, and I absolutely love that. Basically, this tablet will be a fairly similar speed to what you're going to find in the A9 Plus or even the A11 Plus that's going to be coming out soon. But the big difference is going to be the stylus that it comes with. If you're really wanting an S Pen and you're wanting it at a cheaper price, you could save some money and not buy the S10 FE. Instead, you could buy this and get a lot of similar things to the S9 FE. You could still get longer software support. This still comes with Samsung DeX. So this is a really cool tablet, and I think it's going to be really awesome, especially when it goes on sale. Now this tablet, it does retail at $350. I know that is a little bit of a high price point for it because a lot of us are looking around at the tablet landscape and we are seeing a lot of good tablets go on sale. The Idea Tab Pro from Lenovo has gone on crazy sales. We've seen the S10 FE go on sale, but don't worry, we can't really judge a tablet like that because this tablet will go on sale too. Now if you don't like this pink color here, don't worry, it does come in multiple different colors, so you could actually choose a different color option for yourself. But I really do like what this tablet provides because if I think about it, if this tablet goes on sale for $300, and I've already seen it go on sale for $300, at least at Walmart for a limited time. Remember, sales do change. But if this tablet goes on sale even further to like $250, and then you're bringing an S Pen experience to that price point, that's going to be really awesome for a lot of people who just need a tablet for the basics, but you also like taking some notes as well. Now, if you're wondering if it's different than the Tab S6 Lite from 2020 or 2024, there are definitely a lot of differences. I know that tablet was a little bit smaller at 10.4 inches, and this tablet is right under 11 inches in size. So it's a little bit of a size difference, but also the tablets are really meant to be held in different orientations. The Tab S6 Lite, you could actually use it in the portrait orientation or the landscape orientation. It wouldn't really matter, but it was meant to be held in that portrait orientation because of where the front-facing camera was. Well, in the Tab S10 Lite, they did change where the front-facing camera is this year because they know some people use keyboard covers, a lot of people watch media on their tablet, and they do actually like to hold their tablets side to side like this. So that means they wanted the front-facing camera to be centered whenever you're using your tablet in the landscape orientation. Basically, holding your tablet side to side like this. So this tablet will be very different than the Tab S6 Lite. It's going to feel different. It will feel a little bit heavier here. It's going to be a little bit larger. And again, this tablet is going to be much more comparable to the S9 FE. In fact, it's going to use the same keyboard case as the S9 FE, so you can use the book cover keyboard from that tablet or from the Tab S10 FE. That regular book cover keyboard or the slim keyboard covers, they will work with this tablet here. But you will not see a fingerprint sensor. If we look at the design here, you will see a regular power button, but there is no fingerprint sensor on this tablet. So you are going to have to rely on face recognition to actually open up your tablet with some security. Now, if you look at the sides of the tablet, you are going to see, of course, a speaker here and an SD card slot. On the other side, you will see another speaker. So technically, we don't have dual speakers on both sides, but the speakers are still loud enough, especially for a tablet at this price point. Now, moving on, let's talk about the display for a moment. I really do enjoy the display here because it is 90 Hertz. We also do get about 600 nits of brightness, so the screen brightness here will be a little bit brighter than you're going to find in the Lenovo Idea Tab Pro. That Idea Tab Pro technically is a little bit faster, but when it comes to brightness, this is going to beat it out. Now, this is not an AMOLED screen, and it's not even quite as good as the screen that you're going to find on the Tab S10 FE. So the colors do look a little more dull, but you are at least getting a decent resolution on the screen. And if you look at that resolution, you need to know you're not going to be looking at some blurry image in 720p or anything like that. You are actually going to get a decent image on here with some good brightness. So watching media and doing other things, it's going to be great for that. This tablet is really for those type of people who want to use this as a secondary device. Let's say you have a phone and you just want to really blow things up sometimes. You want to actually watch content on a larger display. Maybe you want to read a book and you want to read it on a larger display. This is going to be a very good option. Maybe you like to do some gaming and you don't want to game on this super small screen. Having a tablet that is affordable, that you could just game with a larger screen on, that's going to be a pretty big deal for some people. And if you're not a snob that just needs AMOLED, you just want a good companion tablet, this is going to do well. And again, the screen itself will look pretty good. Now, if you look at the actual performance here, this has that Exynos 1380, and it also has 6 gigabytes of RAM. That is the base model. You can actually get up to 8 gigabytes technically, but that is actually pretty good. I know the S6 Lite, it was really annoying coming with only 64 gigs of storage in the base model, or coming with less RAM, and it even only had a 60 Hertz refresh rate. So to get a better refresh rate here, it does make everything feel smoother, and actually using this tablet day to day, it is going to do fairly well, opening up even multiple apps, doing some multitasking. It's not going to just be bogged down immediately. You are actually going to be able to get some stuff done. Now, the benchmarks, it's not perfect. Remember, this is a budget tablet here, but it is going to be suitable for the basics. So this tablet is not for those people who just want a flagship device. It's not for people who even want a good mid-range device that's going to really push the limits with performance. You're not getting the same type of performance that you would on like the Lenovo Yoga tablets that you could find around $500 or $600. You're not getting a flagship chip from 2 or 3 years ago. You're getting a mid-range chip from a couple of years ago. So that means the performance, it's going to be okay. It's going to be suitable. It's going to be good enough. You might have to wait a few seconds for an app to open up and then it's going to be fine. So it really depends on who you are and what your preferences are and what you need. If you want to be able to open up an app here and once you wait a few seconds it's open and then it feels fairly speedy, this is going to be a good option for you as long as you're okay with the screen being a certain way. So as long as you're okay with it being imperfect, this is a very suitable replacement. Now, I do understand if you look at sales around the landscape of tablets, you are going to find something like the S10 FE. You might find it close to $400. You might find it on sale a little bit. And if you do, maybe you find it for $380. I do understand those sales are going to come along. And at that point, obviously, the Tab S10 FE would be a better deal. But we have to realize that this tablet, it will have its own sales as well. So for $250 or for $300, for $280, this is going to be a really solid way to get a cheaper tablet that actually has an S Pen that gets you into the ecosystem. It's going to be pretty nice overall. And I do want to talk about battery life, but first, I want to give a little bit of a personal update while I talk about my sponsor, Whisker. You see, being a YouTube reviewer, it has been really tough for me because I'm not only a YouTube reviewer, I also have a family. I have a wife, I have kids, and I also adopted from foster care. So my wife and I, we really want to make this world a better place, but it's really difficult to do that. Life can get so stressful and hectic, and that's why I'm so grateful for Whisker because they made something that has made my life a lot easier. It is actually called the Litter Robot 4.
And what it does is awesome because it takes nasty, stinky litter
and it takes all that stuff and it puts it in a trash bag so I don't have to deal with it. All I do is take out the trash and replace that trash bag and add litter every now and again. So the Litter Robot is such a big deal. I know they have a lot of great products that actually take care of that stuff. So if you want to check out the links in the description, you're going to be able to find the Litter Robot or some other things that could make your life a little bit easier from Whisker and help out your pets because they have a lot of great pet products. So thank you, Whisker, for sponsoring this this video. Thank you for genuinely helping me in my life when I need it. And now, let's get back to our video, and let's talk about the battery life for this Tab S10 Lite. This tablet also has an 8,000 milliamp battery, which is actually pretty nice. Now, it only has 25 watt charging, but still, I think that'll be fast enough. I don't think that's really a big issue. So if you look at that battery size, I would expect around 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, depending on what you're doing, of course, but that's a general baseline, and the battery life here, it is pretty good. Outside of that, one thing we do need to talk about is software updates. I am hearing, at least from what I'm seeing online, 7 years of operating system updates here, and also 7 years of security updates. That is really good for a cheaper tablet, so very happy that Samsung is doing that. And this does have Android 15 out of the box. It is expected to get Android 16 fairly soon, like within the next month or so. I will actually mention Samsung DeX. It does come on this tablet, right? But you cannot connect this tablet to a monitor. And I am very curious how Samsung DeX is going to be in the future, because with the future versions of Samsung DeX, to actually use the full desktop version that a lot of us like, well, you actually have to connect to a monitor to be able to do that on these newer devices. So you can still use Samsung DeX in its tablet form, the new version of DeX, and that is going to be on the update, of course. But if this cannot connect to a monitor, which it cannot, at least with a wire or with USB-C, I'm expecting, most likely, that we're not going to be able to have the classic version of DeX that a lot of us like. We're just going to have the newer version of DeX, and that's just something we're going to have to live with here. But I would assume that's going to be just fine, because this new version of DeX, it does actually allow you to bring up multiple pop-up windows and use your productive environment like that. And I think that's really what a lot of people would want anyway. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, at least in a budget tablet like this. So outside of all this, the only thing to talk about is going to be the stylus and the S Pen. And the S Pen experience is very good with a 90 Hz display. I really did enjoy taking notes on this device. I will say you're not going to get a bunch of crazy AI features like you get on a lot of other tablets. It is going to be a little more limited here, but it is nice to actually use this S Pen day to day. It doesn't charge, it's not a Bluetooth S Pen, but still, you're going to have a really good experience taking notes. And again, that 90 Hz display, it does just make everything feel very, very smooth. Now you can put your S Pen on the back here if you want to magnetize it there, or you can also magnetize it here on the top of your tablet. So, what are my overall thoughts on the Tab S10 Lite? I think this tablet is really, really good. I think it's an excellent option. I'm really glad Samsung is adding it into the portfolio, because some people don't want to spend the money of the Tab S10 FE, but they still want a stylus. Some people don't want the Tab A11 Plus or the A9 Plus. They don't want a tablet that's $200 like that, because they want an S Pen. And if you want an S Pen, but you don't need all the fancy features, and you don't mind just waiting a little longer for your stuff to load, this is actually decent performance for the money, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that. So it's not for everyone. It's not for the people who want AMOLED. It's not for the people who need a fingerprint sensor. And it's not for people who are going to be snobs about the screen quality or loading apps a little bit faster, right? If you are that type of person that cares, or you really want 8 GB of RAM, you want all those things, I would suggest just waiting until the Tab S10 FE goes on sale. But if you are someone who really likes a S Pen, you really like the Samsung experience, and you just want it at a cheaper price point, you're okay with waiting a little bit on certain things, and you don't need AMOLED. You're okay with using a slower face unlock, and you don't mind not having a fingerprint sensor. If that's you, this is going to be a good option, especially when you see it on sale for $300 or for $280. This is going to be a great buy. So hopefully this review has helped you out. If it has, please give me a like and give me a sub. That would mean a ton to my channel. Another thing you could do is check those links in the description, and you could check out the tablet links there if you are interested in buying. And you could also check out other videos if you get time, because that is a great way to support. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, and no matter what you're going through in life, I hope you enjoy your week.